Hi, in this video we're going to be taking a look at the zero conditional, and over the course of this module we are going to be building up 3 different conditionals that you need at the intermediate level. Now the first thing you might notice about today is that I'm wearing my beloved Manchester City. If you read my book, you know that I like to share a little bit about myself with my students, and last night we were successful in beating Liverpool. Even if we'd lost, I would be wearing this today anyway. Okay, so today we're going to focus on the zero conditional. And the way that I usually help students to remember that is I call it the Christmas conditional. And I will explain why in a moment. Now, zero and first conditional is something that if you're a student, you should have already studied at the pre-intermediate level. Okay, so you should already have a little bit of knowledge about this. So at this point, I'm going to ask, what are the 3 reasons that we use the zero conditional? And what we should come up with are facts, habits, and rules. Okay, so generally, those are the 3 things that we use the zero conditional for. So let's have a look at some possible sentences. So let's take a look at the first one. When you go to London, it is always expensive. Every time we do this, this happens as a result. So every time this happens as a result. And what you might notice about this is that I am choosing to use when and not if. And again, when and if is something that I'm going to go into in the next video before we move on to the first conditional. Okay, so we've got when plus subject plus present. So when he goes to London, it would be with the S. This is not the infinitive, it is the present simple. And here we've got subject plus present simple again. So, why do I call it the Christmas conditional? Because it has lots of presents. I tell the same joke every time. One day, someone is going to laugh. I am determined that one person will find this terrible joke funny at some point. Okay, so what about a habit? Well, a way of teaching the zero conditional is by talking about daily routine. Okay, so it could be when I get home, I have a cup of coffee. If you've watched a lot of these videos already, you'll notice that coffee tends to come up a lot. It's never far from my mind. Okay, again, we've got when plus subject plus present, subject plus present again. So remember, when I say present, that would be when he gets home, he has a cup of coffee. So you need that S, it's the present simple that we're using. And finally down here, with rules, when I am late, my boss shouts at me. Okay, because I'm not allowed to be late. It could also be when, in Kaplan for example, when your attendance goes below 80%, we send a letter to you. These are the rules of the college. Okay, and again, we've got when subject and present, subject and present. And notice that we've got the S here because my boss, it is she. She shouts at me. Okay? Now you might have noticed this table over here. We're going to be building this up. So first of all, we're going to go with the name of the conditional, which is 0. Then we're going to go with why is it used. Okay, so it's used for facts, habits, and rules. Then we're going to put the structure in here. So that is when, when plus subject plus present, subject plus present. And finally, we're going to go with an example. Now, I always use the same example because I can use it for every different conditional, and that is talking about when it rains. Okay, so when it rains, I carry an umbrella. Every time. That is a habit. When it rains, I carry an umbrella. And that's it for the 0 conditional. There is going to be one very, very short video that follows this where I'm going to talk about the difference between when and if, and then we will move on to talk about the first conditional. Take care.